Computer
I got my
lady.
handy dandy note card
Woo!
so I can get my math right for once.
Listen, when it comes to stabbing math, that math is very important for you. And yes, I
We're just
will.
gonna have a mystic swap of active characters.
We are going to. We're gonna see how long I can keep it together.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
I got the shot.
All right. So, welcome back, adventurers. Our last session, the magic of the world rippled, and Belgar slipped away into the ether.
Oh!
The remaining members of the group forged ahead after cleaning up from their battle with the terrible spikes that fell out of the ceiling and the weird grabby thing that tried to eat them all.
Yes.
Pushing deeper into the mountain, everyone encountered a band of terrible mutant flying monsters. Wings, body, and talons of a giant bird of prey, heads and horns of a deer stag, and the shadow of a man.
Yay.
These beasts did their best to dive bomb and destroy everyone, but they were defeated and cast down into the dark depths of the water below. And then the party finished up their trek across that bridge, the stone bridge that the creatures were dive bombing you while you were on it. You passed a ruined statue of a dwarven warrior and basically have come up against a closed set of doors. For everybody, I forget how we were working experience points for folks that weren't here. Because Dave, you weren't here for the actual battle.
Right.
So I forget if we were just dropping 100 and trying to keep everybody close for level-wise, or I don't remember.
Well, if it's anything like for Terrence, he's only 100 behind us, so I'm not sure how you were doing it other than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's right. So everybody should get 750, and Dave, you'll get 650.
Okay.
And we'll do the same thing for Dave S. when he rolls back around next time.
So, you said it was plus 750?
Plus 750.
Yay.
5550.
1,000 to go.
Yay.
Oh.
I have 1,050.
All
I
right.
missed level by 50 experience points. I would be very annoyed.
Perfect. I'll make a note.
We have not had a long rest at this point, right? We were just
You are
paused.
We've been doing short rests, but that's
Correct.
about it.
Alright.
We've just been chugging along and stopping at doors because doors seem to be the greatest threat to our existence.
No, what's immediately past them has been.
Hey.
The doors themselves have been fine. We're not Vox Machina.
No, we try. So, that is where you are standing when suddenly the magic of the world ripples again. And
Such a lovely conceit for bringing characters in and out.
And Dundon, who was studying the doors that had dwarven runes written on them, suddenly disappears. And rolling right back into his place, Bilgar. Boom.
What do I recall of my time away, OGM?
Not a single thing. You simply...
How did we get here? What happened?
You disappeared.
Dundon turned into you.
Well,
We killed some birds.
and now you're back.
And Dundon's gone. Again.
This is maddening. Maddening! Oh my god.
I'm not sure which is worse, the fact that that happens so regularly or the fact that it's just not that concerning anymore whenever people just pop in and out of existence.
Well, as soon as one of us comes back without a limb or two, I think it'll become much more concerning.
That I can agree with. Still
But
can't do
until
bits
then,
and
he'll
pieces.
show up eventually.
Yes, I'm
We
sure it'll
hope.
be fine.
I'm glad to see you're finding this relaxing.
We need to get to the heart of
This is
this.
gonna age you.
So, have we explored other rooms besides where the roper was?
Well,
we,
this appears to be a new one, but not really yet.
yeah,
We
no.
got to this door.
That's it?
Yes, progress has
Lord.
been slow.
It's been slow. It's been busy. You missed the killer birds.
Killer birds. Excellent.
Yes.
They
Well,
have pretty red feathers. You want to see? I have one.
lovely. Lovely. Very nice.
I have a talon too.
We were
Well, I have
just
several actually.
we were just about to push our way into this new room when you and
Lovely.
Dundon switched.
Well, then by all means, let us proceed apace. I will step back.
Let us
And
go.
let Feliki and Thea take point.
Let us go bravely, he says while stepping back and letting somebody else go first.
I know my worth. It's not up front.
Ow.
Staying back too, because lots of things here have tried to
I
kill
forget. Was the door already open or was it locked? Did we cover that at all last game?
You literally walked up to it and went, huh,
Huh,
That's it.
that's a door.
Oh,
where'd you got?
oh. Well, since our dwarven friend just disappeared, does anyone else know dwarven?
I don't think I
Do? You do?
Well, I know, but I was asking because last time I just got the glasses out, I got in trouble because I wasn't a team player. So I'm being a team player.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
This couldn't have been better.
I'm trying to be part of the team, damn it. But yes, I
She's
also
gonna
speak
take her
Dwarvish.
glasses out and read the door.
Essentially, you're missing out on some of the nuance of the lettering of the way that it is phrased. But you put the glasses on and look at the door, and essentially it's vaguely like town hall, leadership hall, something along those lines. But it's the nuance of it is a little bit lost on you.
Mm.
I'm gonna relay that to the group.
probably a wide open area.
Proceed with caution.
Do we knock? Just kidding. Push it open.
I was about to say, does the rogue
Um,
knock ever?
They pull. It's okay.
School
You
for the
totally-
gifted.
You totally did the school for the gifted.
Brilliant.
Oh. Okay, we're gonna pull the door now.
And this is why we got all of like 60 feet.
Yeah,
Understand now. It all becomes crystal clear.
without Team Dad.
No, Thea. No. Open the door and come in.
Oh.
If I had hair, it would be out.
I'm sure you could have a spell or something to fix that.
So,
There's some great
the
witches.
door.
The door.
The door
It
opens.
It opens
You open
outward.
it.
The door is open.
Thea's a test dummy. Something's probably gonna fall on her.
Is there light coming from the other side of the door, DM?
Yeah, Thea pulls them open and strolls in.
Well, okay. Awesome.
We strut
And-
bravely forward.
No.
The
We
room
stop and
itself-
listen. Screams? No?
We check the ceiling.
Yes.
Always fucking
Thea's
check
gonna
the
look
ceiling.
up.
Always check the ceiling. Anything up there, GM?
Sorry, just making a quick note. Because
This is where he marks down that we all die.
Sometimes things happen.
Why we die, how we die.
No, just a note, just a simple note for later.
I don't believe you.
The room itself is vaguely round. It is about 50 feet across, so it's a pretty good size. You can get a fair amount of people in here, and the ceiling itself is actually mildly dome-like. I mean, it's not a dome specifically, but it's sort of carved in that shape. Like they took what was available for the rock that was there, potentially very cave-like, and just sort of rounded it out a little to make this chamber. There is a stone table off to your right, which is absolutely completely intact. There are two other stone tables, one to the left and one ahead of you, which are cracked and have crumbled. They've basically collapsed to the floor. All the way across, there are two fire pits that were raised. One is still intact. The one to your left is still intact. The one to the right has crumbled. It started to fall apart. At the exact opposite from the door is a very large seat with essentially a high back chair with a rune at the top of the back of the chair.
The
Is
rune
it a room that
dwarvish?
we've seen before?
The rune is dwarvish, and essentially it is a special designation for leader. Not necessarily chieftain or king, which is a sort of a different tact, different take than any of the dwarves that you have met.
Elspeth, is there magic in here?
Sight.
Ooh, you open the sight. As you open the sight, you do see some wisps of odd color associated with that seat itself. But all of this area, all around you, there's a slight ripple that persists. You had a larger ripple that people have disappeared and reappeared, and those were the first of those was a massive, it was almost like an earthquake. The whole floor shook. And since then there have been little rumblings, and as you look at it now, it's not blurry, but it's just a little off. It's you get just a sort of like the edges of the background here.
Mm-hmm.
It does that, and it's kind of wigging you out because it shouldn't be. It should be much more solid than that.
I think this entire area might be a little unstable.
She is not going to
Magically
recognize
speaking?
that because of her anklet, is she? Because I had that anklet touching the ground.
Right, but do you have the sight?
No.
Means nothing to you.
Yeah, I think this entire area is...
Roll a 20-sider for a perception for me, Elsbeth.
Perception?
Yeah. Give it an extra +2 because you're specifically looking for this kind of thing.
Alright, I can definitely do that. Well, that's a fuck-off roll for tonight. Perception?
Huzzah!
Well played.
7.
Ooh.
Nope. Good on you. All right. So
This whole thing area is off, and there's something going on near the seat throne, whatever it is, but I can't make out anything specific.
Are you just woozy from all the blood in the battle?
No, not for this.
Yet.
So if there's on a seat, can I go sit on the seat?
Please don't sit on the seat.
Let her sit on the seat.
Please don't sit on the seat.
Let her sit on the seat. She's gonna sit on it anyway. We might as well be around, alert, and able to cast counter spells rather than when we're asleep and she sneaks in there and sits on it, right?
I mean, it's a pretty chair. If we were like really serious about keeping this, can we move this?
It's stone.
Okay, so I'll wait till the dwarf comes back. He can help carry it.
I feel like it seems
We
like
crossed water in a
We have
boat.
boats. Boats float.
you know what? I admire her aspirations to greatness. But yet, no, the cleric is right. Better while we're conscious and aware of it than while we're asleep. There's no
Gotta pop my butt in there.
Gonna move everyone up here a little.
And the plot continues to be pulled along by plot hook Thea.
Roll a 20-sider and add any charisma bonus that you have, please.
Who?
I got a natural 20. Because I had a
She
19.
did.
So it's now a 20.
Of course you did.
And once again, another extension of the rogue not learning about the consequences of her actions.
She said 19 into a 20.
Yeah.
Again.
A 19 into a 20. Because I have a 1 charisma. Because I'm so likable.
I have a higher charisma than you, lady.
Doesn't show.
Interestingly enough, does Elspeth continue to use the site while this is happening?
At this point, probably. If it's
Okay.
gonna set something off, we want as many points of view as possible. I can keep it up for a little longer.
You didn't notice before, but as Thea gets up there and sits down, it becomes stable right around her. Almost like a little bubble. Give me another perception roll.
I fixed it.
Do I get the extra +2 that you gave me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's nominally better. 10.
You're not quite. You're just like, why? Why her? What's happening? That's a thing because
Elspeth, come here.
Okay.
Bestow the blessing of wisdom and quote-unquote guidance upon our dear mage so that her next roll gets an additional D4.
You know, if only I had like a cell phone, I could do a selfie right here. This room would be really cool.
What's a cell phone?
Oh, my various gods.
Is
Are you
there...
feeling okay?
Okay, GM, is there another way out of this room that is obvious?
no obvious
I can
other
say that.
exits.
Okay.
And one thing that as you're looking around for that, you do notice that there is a stone. Now it's not huge, but essentially a stone bar that a couple of you would be able to pick up and essentially bar the door from inside here.
Should we be so inclined?
We
Lovely.
wanted somewhere to pull up, yeah.
Feliki, stay in position towards the door entranceway. Make sure that nothing sneaks up upon us. Thea, please remain seated and comfortable, by all means. Everyone else, let us make a quick perimeter check around the room, looking for chests, clothes, garments, any bit of wreckage that may give us a clue as to what this room was for.
Certainly.
Yep, I'm here.
Will that be an investigation check, DM, or...
Please.
I would like to spend 10 minutes.
So if you do your next roll for the perception, or you can save that guidance. Spending 10 minutes is sort of like the bump it to a 20.
No, not in this case. I want to cast a spell as a ritual. So
Okay.
I would like to cast as a ritual comprehend languages.
Okay. Everyone else who is searching. So Elspeth starts doing a little ritual thing. Azathan and Belgar, you're going to search.
Yep.
Each of you do a roll for me, please. You're in is it investigation.
Yep.
Unnatural 20.
I got a 10.
Azathan, you're completely sidetracked. You're derailed by Elsbeth. You're like, what are you doing? Why would you do it that way? Your search just loses it. Belgar, however, says, if I were in charge, I would.
Yeah.
And to either side of the main chair, there are secondary seats, one of which has been completely crushed. The other secondary seat, as you're searching, there's essentially like a pocket next to that seat, and in that there's a single page of written, and it is dwarven, of written word.
Before touching it, even breathing on it, cast a mending spell upon it.
Okay.
So whatever brittle paper fragments are now restored and rejuvenated, and it's a little more durable.
Okay.
Now lift it out.
And now I can understand Dwarven.
Man, it took you 10 minutes to do what I can do on my own.
Oh, do you understand Dwarven too?
I do.
I have glasses that can just read any language.
I don't need glasses, but I could, yeah, but it doesn't matter, sorry.
If we need anyone killed, let me know. I include party in that, please.
I'm taking that into serious consideration. Thank you, Faliki. So,
the page itself,
and honestly, I invite Azathan, Thea, and Elspeth all to read the document.
Yay, group reading time.
laying it, you could actually, if you so choose, use the table that is unbroken.
Lovely.
Lay it out
great idea.
so that everyone can look at it.
Absolutely.
The page itself, now that it is repaired and restored, has phrases, words across the top, and a small diagram at the bottom. The phrasing across the top is essentially a list, sort of like the begat and the connected to and married with, and all of those sort of things of clan members. The leader then goes on stating that this place has reached its end. The challenges of the water have become such that this is no longer feasible. And there's a short descriptive paragraph about elves. And it says, in one portion, the elves wish to push on where we do not. We will not allow them to outpace us. We shall delve deeper with them. We depart.
Never to be seen again.
Which is pretty much what happened to this clan. Nobody knows where they are or where they went.
So, do I know of any elven clans that have... Oh, sorry.
Well, underneath that is a small diagram that if you take a couple of minutes and you're studying it, you're like, wait a minute. You realize, you turn the page sideways and you kind of orient it to where you're standing. You're like, we're in this place right here, and there's essentially a map that looks as if you follow this water off to one side, and it shows as if it goes all the way out the other side of the mountain range, including 2 specific stops along the way.
Those stops being
Landing break points for this is a significant journey. I mean, this is a very large mountain range. You're probably looking at, even by boat with moving water, you're looking at a 2 or 3 day journey from here.
it's better than no journey at all topside.
Right.
We're ahead of the game, Kang.
Oh, So,
So back to your question about the elves. That actually do an intelligence roll for me to see if you remember.
Alright, so I have a
I'd like to take a good, solid look at this, especially the map, because then I can recreate this later.
Okay.
18.
So once upon a time, that you had
Wait.
another
19.
You
Sorry.
had another elf that was traveling with you before she departed to go on to her own adventures. That other elf and you were discussing something that she had noticed but was trying to figure out without really spreading the word about it.
Oh yeah, it wasn't like there was either no young ones or no old ones. I forget which one she said.
no old
Oh.
elves.
No old elves. Once past a certain age, you just don't know anyone that's that old. And that's extremely odd for the elves. Elves are very long lived, and you cannot come up with anyone that you know or have ever met that's older than, like, say 250, 300 ballpark.
Yeah.
They simply aren't there. And you don't know why. Do you say anything about that?
Yes. I'm going to say that. I am going to mention to the group. And I was like, oh, you know that person we had here before? That about the bread shortage?
Who?
About the bread shortage.
Remember that one?
I remember. You'll have to be a little more specific about what you're actually talking about.
I have
Well,
no idea what you're talking about.
we were talking, like the whole elves kinship family thing.
Oh, hold on. Do you
And
mean
we
when
realized.
Do you mean like when we were in that absolute shithole of a bar
Yeah.
with Paladin far too excited for his own good and the other guy?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Even before then, I think, but
Possibly.
Potentially.
Well, anyways,
Was
we
I
were
here for that? I
chit-chatting.
don't think I remember any of this.
you weren't here for that
You
part.
weren't.
You
Well,
will elaborate,
anyways, we
please.
were chatting, and we realized I can't tell you, and neither could she, of any elf. Old elf, specifically. Older than 250, maybe 300 if we're being generous, but we can't tell you a single one. We live longer, we know that, but I can't tell you anyone who I've ever met.
It is peculiar. How does that have any bearing on this document?
Well, if these elves are going somewhere, where did they go? Are the elves going there?
Oh, I see. So you're proposing that wherever the elves in this document went, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, every elf who reaches the age of 301 suddenly goes to that same place? Is that what you're suggesting?
I don't know. I just thought it was curious.
It is curious. It is very definitely curious and something worth pursuing.
Is there historical
Eventually.
precedent for something like this?
DM, since that is, as the only other elf in the room, is that... sorry, brain. Just...
When she says it,
Yeah.
it occurs to you, and now you're puzzling it out.
Oh, shit, where are my parents?
They're not that much older.
No. Older, what? Yeah, no, they're not much older than me.
I mean, where I forget where you were at.
I'm at, age-wise,
Yeah,
112.
they're in their 200s.
Oh,
They had you very young.
Oh, shit.
I'm older than you.
Uh-huh.
Clearly.
Yeah, but he's more mature than you, so it's okay.
Ugh. Okay.
So, GM,
Yeah.
we have given and explored thoroughly this room.
Yes.
Very good.
We can continue exploring.
Actually, the other part with your roll, there is something to the bottom piece of the main seat. Now that since you moved away, you're like, wait a minute. As you're looking back, the very bottom piece of that seat looks
Loose.
Loose is a good way to say it.
Thea?
It's almost as if it's a finely fitted drawer, but there's no real handle.
Thea, I would advise caution as you proceed. This is very likely one of those things that would be trapped.
Oh, I'm going to do a perception check for traps.
Okay, let me know.
Why'd you be like that?
I won't even tell. I won't know. I'm not even giving you the
No.
number. I won't know.
You don't find any. That's all there is to it. You don't find any.
It is A-okay.
There are no traps.
You are absolutely confident that this is free and clear.
Let's go.
Proceed.
Nothing bad has ever happened from a fumbled perception check. No siree. Go forward bravely, our rogue.
Oh, there's nothing wrong.
There's no handle. You're fairly certain it opens. You're like, well, I don't see that there's a trap, but I also don't see how it opens.
If with my thieves tools, can I get it to shimmy where I think it's gonna open? And like force it?
Sure.
Crowbar?
You can give it a try. Roll a 20-sider for me.
Oh, 17 plus 19.
All right. So you're like, you're in there. You're like trying to get the little wedges and things, and like you push on one side, and you're like, oh, it pivots in the center,
Neat.
and you pivot out this half round that is essentially the drawer, and inside that drawer, which everyone is watching you open, just as a note.
Saying.
I'm not enjoying your little implication there.
I am immensely. Go on, DM.
There are 6 bloodstones, a chunky gold bracelet, and a long golden anklet chain. Very similar to the one you have on.
I found the twin!
You found treasure.
I found the twin! It matches my other one. I want to put it on. Oh, but here's bloodstones.
Noted.
And everything else.
Do me a favor. Do an intelligence check.
Oh, look, it's the consequences of your actions.
Oh, look. This one might have a consequence. I have a 9.
You don't. You have a hole. Or were you still barefoot?
Yeah.
Never mind.
So now she has two anklet bracelets on, yes?
With gold tails trailing on the floor.
Weren't those
Lovely.
supposed to be paired with another person?
What do you mean?
I thought someone else wore the other.
Yes, when she was originally telling us about the contents of the journal, it was given as a gift from, I guess, that person's lover or whatever.
Elspeth, give me another intelligence roll.
Is this if it's for memory? I remember everything perfectly up to a month away.
You do remember. You remember very specifically, but it's not for that. You do remember the diary bit very specifically, and it was not that piece of that conversation that you're thinking of was not about the ankle.
Oh, okay. Is this just base intelligence, or is this related to a skill?
Give it an extra +2 for the wizardly thing.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I have Arcana. I could just...
Well, do that.
Yeah.
There you go.
21.
Now that she points it out, when you turn the sight back on and you see everybody else, that wavering thing is happening, and it's not happening to her, and it occurs to you, maybe she's grounded.
Oh.
That's what that journal said. It was supposed to ground it.
But it's a magic. It's more than that. It is giving that grounding that the web, even though all of the area around you is ripply, it is not around her.
Interesting.
Is this enhanced now that she has 2 on her?
No.
Yeah.
Could
Could we borrow one of your
could I
anklets?
borrow one of those?
I guess.
Thank you.
I will take that.
Get Elspeth. You
Yes.
are the observer. You must remain untainted. Give the anklet to Azathan.
Ooh, I like get fancy.
Okay.
I will take the anklet.
Have shoes on?
I have boots. I'll take them off.
Okay.
I will put the anklet on. Feel grotesquely fancy.
Your feet are dirty.
Not as dirty. Leave me alone.
Whatever.
I bathe.
DM, does he appear? Does Azathan appear more grounded now?
He does indeed.
As a
As
druid,
soon as
this
you
is
put the
appropriate.
anklet on, you set your foot down and the tail touches the ground. Same effect.
Oh wow. You're stabilizing.
I was about to say, if you were going to make a stable joke,
Nay, we would not.
we would not go for such low-hanging fruit, now would
Nay, we would not. We'd save that for the main event.
Yeah, no, the weave around you 2 is not as distorted.
I see.
What
How about
are
this
these
bracelet?
things?
What do you see with this bracelet? I want to put it on.
Oh, God.
It so does not fit you.
I
It
give
is
that.
big, fat, chunky.
It is designed for buff, muscular dwarf arms.
All right.
That-
Well, we'll keep this for our dwarven friend when he decides to
Actually,
grace us with his presence.
it might fit on Faliki's arm, now that I think about
Oh. Faliki,
Is
you
it
want
magical?
some gold?
No? Okay, then I don't care.
I don't
It's not a
particularly
trap.
need to hold on to it, but if you want me to hold on to it for done, then I can.
There you go. And then we got bloodstones for everybody.
it.
You get a bloodstone. You get a bloodstone.
Why don't you just continue to store the treasure? Thea will distribute once we find a more congenial spot for such things.
I have a lot of identifying to do later.
Yeah,
With pleasure.
I mean, if we're going to talk about that, this seems like a reasonable place to hold up and fend off for a long rest.
In need of one?
Not yet, but when we do go for a rest, this seems like a good place for it.
Right.
I mean, I am half HP right now.
Oh, that's right. We didn't have a rest between the combat and now. I forgot. That's why
Yeah.
I've also.
Everything we've seen says the next spots we're going to hit are back in the boats.
True, we'll have to dip through the boats.
Is that a problem?
No.
I still have like the magical cloths and stuff like that. I brought that along. That's in my pack.
Yeah, we'll need to take time to identify and actually get ourselves organized before making this trek.
We're still relatively fine.
Who all has been wounded?
Not.
I mean, I'm at 17.
I'm good now because just my short rest was fine.
A few scratches here and there. I'm fine. It's more this a little
Yeah.
tired, but
Thea looks like she's been torn up.
Elspeth, you said something about a short rest?
Yeah, after the whole Ripper thing, we took a brief break to make sure you weren't going to pop back in, and I was rested.
But
that with
Thea took damage after the short rest.
Yes.
Oh, very
The
good.
killer
Right.
birds, remember?
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
right.
They dive bombed me, so I started dive bombing them as they came in.
It was a mess.
Really? You went head to head with the horned
I
demon
won.
birds?
I'm still here. I
Yeah.
have pieces of the one that I tore up too, if you would like to see.
No, that's quite all right.
It knocks
I'm more concerned about the pieces of you in their dead beaks that we need to now mitigate somehow. Stand by.
And I have. I can't say I'm tapped out, but I'm getting closer.
6 people get 15 points of healing back.
Ooh.
Rare feeling, okay.
15,
Nice.
15.
Well, that takes me all the 3 I was missing. See,
Yeah, I'm just I'm too short from being perfect, so I'm good now.
see, Thea, this is what I mean when I say you should be very nice to the cleric. I can only bring you back if you're in one piece. The cleric
I am
has.
nice.
Yeah,
What is this? I need to be nice. I have been nice.
You did try and elect to loot his temple.
As a
I
fan.
am just researching, and I have to research at other more convenient spots. So I had to bring
Perhaps we might discuss this in a boat as we move to one of these other landings, perhaps. Hmm?
Indeed,
Yeah,
discussion.
that sounds like a great idea.
Discussion on boat is always more interesting.
So,
Real
GM,
quick.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say real quick, is there is behind those seats, is that part of the room still? And that's the seats broken, or is there a little walkway back there?
Oh, there is a little walkway back there, but it doesn't actually go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
That makes no sense at all.
It's decorative.
No, it does not.
Um,
Unless, of course, you think there should be somebody standing back there, the power behind the throne, where they wouldn't be seen.
Ah.
Oh yeah, that is a thing.
They had a pretty face, and then they had the real person.
Now, the end where you see that opening behind the fire pit does not look like it was ever intended to be the crumbly mess that it is. It looks like there probably was a much more elegant and sneaky way to get back there. However, time and earth
Poor
rumbling
craftsmanship.
have basically rendered it to rubble.
So,
and I would recommend just a once over check of that area behind the throne. It doesn't make sense to me that the person behind the throne needs to go through the throne room and potentially be seen by other people in order to be behind the throne. But that's a possibility. But I would like to check and see if there's any passages that have been collapsed in on or other ways out of that back area.
I do my perception investigation check.
Yep.
Also, if this is a meeting area for dealing with disputes or generalized information gathering, not everyone's going to be here at one time. Therefore, any power who might be advising out of sight would come in first.
Meaning they'd have to get in there and then wait for hours until everybody
Thank
else
you.
came in.
After scheduled meetings, this is old hat for nobility.
I have a 19.
speaking with a lot of confidence there.
You find absolutely nothing back there. I mean, it's you're kind of looking at it like this doesn't even look like it would be work right or be comfortable or no something. It just no. It's sort of a halfway thing, and there's nothing. There's no other openings. There's no indication of caved-in pieces. You're like, this doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
It's either that or they kept the hounds in there.
Well,
You gonna tell
it doesn't matter.
the group doesn't
Our-
see anything.
Well, at least we're clear that there's nothing that's going to surprise us if we bunk up here later. Onward to the boat, shall we?
Yes, to the boats.
To the
And Belgar seems very distracted and constantly looking over his shoulder back at the area. That makes no sense!
I mean, you're welcome to check if you don't believe me.
That's
GM,
not what I said.
Is my possible description of events make sense from a nobility standpoint?
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's okay.
As a background thing, you've seen and heard of this sort of thing.
Yeah,
all
like
the
this
time.
is
Especially in Trokal.
yeah.
They live in caves, man.
That's it.
There's about like 75% of the Trokali capital is underground.
Yeah. Belgar, trust me, it's nothing important.
That doesn't make it any less stupid.
So are we gonna check out these stairs right here?
Actually, we're going to go back because the boats are back at the far end of the alcove.
Yep.
Oh.
I thought I've circled the area that's closest to it. We should just continue on that way.
Yes, I can agree.
Okay, so let me make this. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Whilst everyone is moving along, let me make this a little bit easier for everyone if I can.
Yay.
As you get back to the boats where you left them at the bottom of the stair there, and you look straight across at the other step, and you pile in the boats and push across, that stair there is a room that essentially amounts to like a guest room. It is not. There are no real appointments left. They're essentially the remnants of a couple of beds and what would have been a stand to set things on. But there's
We'll allow Thea to go over it like the ravening piranha of greed that she is, and overturn every stone for a bit of gold dust or perhaps an earring that somebody dropped between a bit of crevasse.
I thank you for appreciating my investigation skills.
There you go.
Team players.
I have an idea. Can someone keep an eye on me? I want to investigate something real quick.
Certainly.
Oh.
I won't ask questions.
Alright. Elspeth is going to stand at the stairway, lay down, and submerge her head to try and see what under the water really looks like. Because I am noticing stairways hidden under. I want to see if how much this area has been flooded.
I'm going to lean over to Belgar. I didn't know she was part fish.
Talents abounding.
We work with a wild group
How
of
long
people.
are you going to
That's
stay
okay.
that way?
Thea wants to push her all the way in.
What has she done to warrant such acts? That's cruel.
She's threatening to curse me.
No, I did not threaten to curse you. That was all out of game.
How long are you going to keep your head under there?
Not for terribly long. I want to try and get a good look, but I'm not necessarily going to stay under for like 5 minutes.
Are you holding your breath, or
I don't have to worry about that.
That's
yes, but that's my.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're.
I'm definitely looking like I'm holding my breath, so I don't want to talk about that thing quite yet. But
okay.
But I'm not actually worried about that right now.
Give me a perception roll.
I can do that. Oh my god, what is with perceptions in me today?
You want to roll an extra D4 on that?
Oh yes.
as Shelby would ask, do you want to take a closer look? Push her into the water.
Not that it's much
I'm
better.
nothing if not
10.
helpful.
Wow. 10 with the extra D4.
Man.
Nicely done.
I feel like if I did push you closer, it might be a little bit better.
You should swim. Hello?
If you want me to swim, at least take my backpack off first.
Whatever you want.
I'll hold it for you.
No, Belgar can hold it.
So GM,
Yes.
how long is Elspeth underwater?
Give me a perception roll on that.
He is gonna dig around in the room.
As you do.
16?
It occurs to you that her head has been underwater longer than you would think she would be able to hold her breath.
Especially given her apparent state of health.
Yeah, that's really the key factor. Like, a normal person wouldn't be a big deal. You'd be like, yeah, they're still holding their breath. Her, you're like, I think so.
Did our wizard...
I will keep this information to myself.
Elsbeth is trying to peer down into the water, and as you're staring and you're like, wait, we took a little pebble and we put light on it. We threw it down there and it's not there. You really can't see a lot. It goes pretty deep right here, and you can see these steps go down to a landing, and they turn and it continues down. It goes down a pretty fair distance down here, long enough that you don't see that light anymore.
Okay, then I'm gonna pop my head up.
Okay,
yeah.
Huh.
You see Belgar staring at you strangely.
What?
He just stares at you.
Did I do something wrong?
Did you see anything?
Stairways leading into a deep, deep, dark place.
Well,
I couldn't see anything.
Well,
past a certain distance.
I would imagine this water we're at about as full as it can get then, since we're dealing with dwarves.
Yeah, did you find anything of interest in the chamber?
I rolled a 17, did I?
You did not. There is nothing left here. This was picked clean.
And we will board the vessel and go to this other set of stairs. Yeah.
And this one is very, very similar. Except the front wall by the stairs is completely gone. This would be sort of a lounge, if you would, like a let's go there and have a sit down, quiet space sort of a thing. But not like a bedroom kind of a thing, not a guest room kind of thing, more of a side room where you could go and sit and just have a chat. And you do seem to think, looking at the stairs, you do seem to think that perhaps there were some intent of a step or a ladder or something that goes to go up the other side, and it just sort of doesn't look like it panned out.
Right. Just to confirm, this is an impassable waterfall. This is an impassable waterfall. And this is far too narrow for the boats to make its way up, correct?
Correct.
So the only way we can go is down here. Yes?
Yes.
It would seem that way.
Happens to match the map that you found.
Well, it seems like this might be our a point of no return. So if we have anything we need to get
does
done...
the map show...
Why no return?
we could just go back this way.
How fast are the currents, if any?
There is a current, and it does flow fairly decent pace, but you could pole against it. You could row. You could make it come back. It would simply be a question of stamina, really.
I was realistically, it's Feliki and Dundon and potentially our cleric friend. Okay, so again, as I was saying, Feliki and Dundon rowing back up this with 4 people who will be of no help whatsoever. Plus,
Well, see, now there you go, Azathan. I think you neglect your own not insubstantial spell abilities, Elspeth's not insubstantial spell abilities, and thank you very much, my not insubstantial spell abilities when it comes to locomotion of vessels in water.
Also, can't you turn to a fish?
You could turn into a whale and you could push us.
Turn into a lizard in a very horrifying way.
Just because I can, it's not for a very long period of time, and I would not want to turn back underwater in a way that I could not swim particularly well.
Always with the negative vibes, Azathan.
Take one of your shrooms and chill.
Yeah, Churkall's full of waterways. Like,
Let's keep a good thought and see how things go.
Not as a negative thing. I wasn't saying we're all going to die if we go that way. I'm just saying if before we go on the obviously very long trip filled with water, we should put
We
ourselves
should grab
together.
more wine.
True, that may actually be helpful.
I'll tell you what. Let's go down a half hour and see if there's anything to see. And if not, then we'll pole, paddle, swim, and push ourselves back up to here and camp for the rest of the evening.
Sure, that sounds fine by me.
based on the map, is a half hour going to really amount to anything?
Half hour in that current?
Half hour in that current?
No. If it's a half hour we're testing with, we might as well just stay here.
Well, I'm just saying we don't know if there's more of this complex off the edge of the map. I just don't want to assume there's nothing over there when really the answers to all these questions that everybody's been asking is just in that chamber off the map over there. That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree. I'm with you.
Oh no, I was talking the literal map we have, which points all the way out of the mountain range.
Well, no, I don't intend to come out on the other side and initiate trade with the people therein. I just want to see if there's more to this dwarven complex, because clearly there's more to this than what we see here. It might be under the water, and if that's the case, then there's nothing to be done for it. But if there's more downstream, I'd feel the fool if we didn't at least investigate.
I could agree.
I suppose.
Thank you for the ringing endorsement. Let's go!
Right, jeez, and I thought my dad got pushy.
So, DM, is there more to at least this upper level, or is everything down? Down.
As you pile into the boats and push off, headed into the current and down the river, the underground river moves along very swiftly, but it's very smooth. The tunnel itself is clear. There's not like you have to duck your head or bring things into the side. It's quite pleasant, and it moves right along. Half an hour in, Elsbeth is totally right. It is, you could make the rest of the journey for the day to the first stopping spot, or you could turn back. There's really nothing. It's a tunnel.
Perhaps we should go to the first stopping spot.
Why don't we go, or are we going to go back and divvy out everything that we saw, see if there's something potentially useful for whatever big nasty we see moving forward?
Well, we're gonna be on. You know what? If we're gonna be on the boat for a while.
Oh, can we do it on the boat?
Well, I can't identify right now. I don't have the spell prepped.
Oh yeah, that was the other reason, because we spent 40 minutes talking about identifying them, only to find out at the end.
All right. Let's go back up. We'll go back up. Make camp in the council chamber with the secret room that makes no sense. And
makes total sense, Belgar. Chill.
The GM said it makes no sense. That's all I'm saying. With the secret viewing chamber. And everybody gets their rest, can prep their spells, we'll get some more wine, we'll divvy up some goods, and we'll strike out for the first landing after a long rest.
Sounds fine by me.
Fine by me.
All right. So,
there's...
are you going to do the whole identification thing, try to sort out all of the stuff?
Yes. We've been sitting on loot for days. We've been literally sitting on this loot, having it unidentified and undivvied for over 2 months now.
Out of game.
Out of game. It's been 2 days in game.
That's just terrible. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 different pages here. You're going to have to help me out with where you want to start on the list of things that you are identifying, and I will track them down for you and make sure that we get this right.
Okay.
There's a woven white gold ring with an emerald. A bunch of different kinds of robes. There's a silver chain with obsidian pendant in the shape of
right.
a shield.
Whoa. Let's slow our roll there, Thea, okay?
One thing at a time.
One thing at a time. Let the GM orient himself.
Do you remember where these things came from, since you've just mixed and matched them into a big pile in your pocket?
They have
Yes.
a list.
This is currently from the 3 rooms on that we have, and I can tell you which ones came from each room.
Okay, so let's break it down by room, shall we?
Okay, the first room had a glass bead, and that was also where the
Glass bead bracelet.
Yes, the glass bead bracelet from the dream god. And then they had some clothes that were just like not really anything special. Well, they could have been. I just didn't think it was. The second room had
Wait. In the first room, there was also a carefully wrapped dead grasshopper, 8 feathers, a box of powder, which I believe was Vortigern's medicated foot powder, a black enamel tower pin, and a big sheaf of paper.
Oh yes, I need that pin and the paper.
You already had it.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's been a
already
bit.
Then
holding
the
on to those
grasshopper
things.
went to Azathan.
Yep.
Okay. So
Sorry, I only listed the things that I took.
as you go through those things, what you're seeing in those pieces, the glass bead bracelet is not magical. You had determined that before.
Mhm.
But the feathers and the grasshopper strikes you as it could have been something of a component, sort of a thing. It could have been spell-based stuff. You're not sure. The feathers, you were unable to identify them. You don't know what those feathers came from.
I'll take them.
Although, potentially, having seen the chaos beasties that you fought out on the bridge, could be something weird like that, and that's why you can't identify them.
Okay.
And the foot powder is wonderful. It does help with sore feet.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
magic.
that
Dundon
is
had
all.
that one.
The black enamel pen and the sheaf of paper, unmagical, and Elspeth has that.
Yes. I'll be looking at those when I'm done all this.
As you look at that, are you going to take some time to look over the papers to see what's there?
I will, yes, but I want to figure out the magic item situation first, ideally. Just so everyone's got a chance to look over stuff.
Elspeth, I need you to mark in big capital letters, look over the big sheafs of paper, so that we come back to it and get the information that's in there, okay? Promise me?
Oh, I'm doing
Yes is the answer.
Delgar. Those papers have been something I've been looking for a long time. Don't worry, I'm looking at them.
Okay, all right. Next room. Thea.
There is a woven white gold ring with an emerald, some neatly entitled robes.
I don't even know where you are.
The second middle room.
Yeah, I've got folded robes of Nox, a silver chain with an obsidian pendant, the holy symbol of Nox, 30 silver pieces, a small book, a Nox prayer book, 2 parchment scrolls, speak with the dead and ward death, and a magical cloak.
Oh, well, then that means the woven white gold rings with the emerald and the other robes are part of the first room. Sorry.
I didn't even write that down.
Okay.
Apparently you stole those.
So you did know the 2 scrolls that has spells on them.
Right. Magical cloak.
And the cloak itself is magical. As you you would use the identify thing as a ritual thing.
Yes, so I don't have to use the spell slot.
This gossamer cloak, it's light and flowy, and if you speak the word Rix, R-I-X, which is Maltese word feather, this cloak will actually stop you from falling and gently allow you to drift to wherever the bottom is.
Oh, well, that's handy.
Was that the long black silk one with embroidery?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
How about the two fine thin leather gloves? Do they do anything?
Okay, you're in a different room, Thea. Different room.
different
Ah,
room.
that's all in the same thing.
No. This cloak was in the Knox room. The robe you're talking about, silk with silver embroidery, is in the room with the chain with the pendant, which is silver with the pink half-closed eye, and the powder with
Oh,
the
yes, the
addictive magic
glass.
stuff.
Yeah, that's where I went on that little trip.
So
Yeah.
patience, young Jedi. Okay,
That was
Also,
a cloak.
Yeah.
cloak of feather falling.
also Dave Robinson coming in clutch with the notes.
So
I'm
does
gonna
the
play
silver
Belga. I'm
chain
gonna
with
play
the
Belga.
obsidian
That's
pendant
fair.
and the shape of a shield do anything?
Hang on. So you're going over to the wait. You're going over to the one with the dreaming god stuff.
This
that
is the
correct?
wardrobe with the poison needle.
Yes.
There was a shirt, a chain with a pendant, silver with a pink half-closed eye, a silk with silver embroidery garment of some kind, robes or a cloak, 2 fine leather gloves, a parchment envelope with 3 smaller envelopes containing mushroom powder to bonus magic, mushroom powder to bonus magic, and Mordain vapor drug, the Dreamist, a drug.
Yes, I am in possession of the powders and the mushroom drugs.
Very good.
I had the. Yeah.
Let me wait. There's more.
Jesus, everybody's like Oprah today.
I just need to find my book where I have that referenced from. Huh. Not coming up with it. All right. So the blindfold that was in there, that's the silk with the embroidery.
Silver embroidery. Okay.
Silver embroidery it is a blindfold. The embroidery, if you fold it just right, becomes symbols, and it is essentially a blindfold of dreaming, magically enhanced.
Which does what?
That's what I was looking for.
I mean, I can put on a rag over my eyes and go to sleep and say, look, it's a rag of dreaming, because I dreamed.
And now, if you remember your dreams for the long term, that's the really magical part.
Oh, yes, that's ongoing.
But it actually will extend your awareness as a priest.
Really?
Particularly to the dreaming god.
Can I have that?
No.
Oh, well,
You're not a priest.
No, but I kind of have
Give
been
it,
talking.
give it.
But I play one on TV.
I see glasses on your forehead. I see daggers at your hip. I see golden chains around your ankles. I see a modicum of jewels, treasures, coin, and jewelry dripping off of your person. May I please have this for me?
Sure. Can I borrow it? And I will return it?
Fine.
I will return it.
What about the fine leather gloves, GM? Are they just fine leather gloves?
They are not. They are indeed.
They're gloves of lock picking. I wonder who they could be for.
No, they are gauntlets of extended range. Basically, they double your throwing range for something like a dagger.
Faliki, please take the gloves.
Dundon has throwing axes. These would be perfect for him.
Oh, does he? That's true.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he has throwing axes.
Yes.
I'm used to just watching him just bisect things with his weapons and bows.
I had references for all of this, and I have misplaced the exact reference, and I will track it down for you to get you the specifics about the Dreaming Blindfold.
Lovely.
But there's also in there the shirt, the sleek silver gossamer shirt.
Yes.
That is the shirt of the moon.
Ooh.
It is magical protection that does not impact spell casting, but gives a damage reduction of 3.
Ooh. Ooh.
That should go to Elspeth. She has habitually taken the most damage in all of the altercations that we've had, and her spells continue to be of great asset and support in those battles.
I agree.
So,
Yeah.
Elspeth, take the shirt of the moon, dear.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, there is also another room to the north, painted in forest green. It had a leather cord, a pair of boots, small crystal, and a ring, white gold with an emerald.
Yes. The leather cord had the golden circle.
Right.
That basically the druidic holy symbol.
Yes.
There were a pair of boots in there,
Right.
and
Dundon
as
took
you
those.
what's that?
Dundon took those.
I didn't think he did.
Didn't they have the gold coins in them?
They did.
Yeah.
They did indeed, and they are magical.
Please, do tell.
They are the boots of the Mountain King,
Damn.
and they also give certain protective features.
She will tell us at a later date.
There it is. While wearing boots of the Mountain King, you can move easily over unusually difficult terrain. They allow you to ignore the increased movement costs and difficulty increases for rubble, upstairs and slopes at normal speed, run or charge downhill without making balance checks, and they require no activation.
Ooh.
Is this a uniquely dwarven relic, or is it seem to be non-denominational?
It is. They are very specifically dwarven looking.
I was going to say, originally, when they were talking about it, they almost sounded like boots of dwarven kind.
Yeah.
I was going to say, of the two, to be perfectly honest, can't speak ill of the Vanished, but I would rather Feliki have those boots than Dundon, but we can discuss that later. But they're with him now anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. But okay. Small crystal?
The small crystal is actually a staff crystal that you could embed in much the way weapons have power crystals with them. You can embed this into, like, if you're carving a staff, for instance, or you're using a staff for magical abilities, you can add this specifically. This crystal specifically adds to that.
I believe I would like
Augmentation
that.
crystal.
All yours, as it that.
I will take the crystal.
And you and I can work out the details on that specificity. I know you had some things about the staff that you were using. And then
A ring, white gold with emerald.
yes. That is and I actually have a page reference on this one. Ta-da. That one is the Ring of Mystic Defiance.
Ooh.
Protects you from damaging magical effects. when you activate the ring.
Interesting.
3 times a day, you can ignore 10 points of damage dealt by any kind of spell or spell-like ability.
Nice.
It does not affect you from other things like generated from magic items or things that are designed to mimic spells or natural magical abilities of creatures. But if a wizard throws a spell at you, like a fireball, you can activate the Mystic Defiance and ignore 10 points of that.
How about like a deity?
Well,
good luck.
It's kind of what I'm thinking. Good luck.
That's kind of fall outside the purview of conventional magic.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you did that one to yourself there, friend.
How is it activated, Eric?
It is a command word.
Okay, which we have.
Yes. That part I didn't write down, but I will.
That we have, but we will actually know it later on.
So let's hold that in reserve for now. There's a couple of people that might work well with.
Agreed.
There's one other magical item, and I don't know if Thea has shared that with folks.
All right.
I mean, which one are you talking about?
Which one of the many things she's kept from the party are you
here's the
referring
thing.
to?
I've been using the site often enough. I know where every magic item on her person is because she can't hide that.
Oh.
Oh, yes, I can because I have a magic-proof bags.
Ooh,
The
snap.
Yes.
Oh.
the there were bracers, the metal bracers that you found in amongst the icky remains of that creature that Azathan burst.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Those
Dave
two-
missed that.
You burst a creature?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Azathan got eaten.
He turned into a giant lizard inside of it. It was.
Those bracers are magical. They are bracers of defense +2. There was also a chain whip that was part of that. Because remember, there was that little pile of metal. It like bleh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And then we
chain-
washed off the...
the chain whip that is in there is extremely fine links of chain, and you're like, how does that even function?
Oh yeah.
Because it's magic. That is a +1 whip.
Perhaps. Oh wait, she hasn't shared those. All right, that's right.
There was a dagger in that pile of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is +2. There was also a chainmail shirt, which I believe Dundon grabbed that one right away.
Yeah, he did.
Which I will give it to you. We can figure out the specifics of it later. That chainmail shirt is also +2.
Very nice.
And there was a Crimson Crescent symbol in there as well.
I have
Spit
that.
on it. Spit on it.
I'm up to 3 Crimson Crescent symbols now.
Good. When you get to 5, you get ported to hell.
Oh, I'm closer than you realize.
We know. We know.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't yet. So wait, did you ever say what the silver chain with the obsidian pendant in the shape of a shield, what that one did with the...
That's a
the
symbol of
Nox god?
Nox.
It's a holy symbol of Nox.
Holy symbol.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Well done, all.
Fantastic.
The,
What about the chunky bracelets that we just found?
Not magic.
not
Yeah.
magic.
They're just
Not magic,
decorative.
just ugly. Okay, very good.
Just ugly fat chunks of gold.
They're just ugly investments in your retirement. Yeah, no big deal.
Sorry, Dave. Let me ask this: when was the last time Belgar used the site around any of us?
been a while.
It has been a while.
Well,
He's
because-
been relying on Azathan and Elspeth,
But
honestly.
yeah, because I forgot to mention something, so anyone who had looked at Elspeth on the site would have noticed something about her if they were paying any attention.
The only ones who've been using the site are you and I've been letting you do it, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, since you met her.
Yeah,
I forgot to mention something whenever the site's been used.
Okay.
She has an amulet on her that has been glowing with magic.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
That was it. I realized the site users need to know that.
Shelby,
Cool.
the only other thing, and I don't know what you did with it, there was from that room where you found the waterproof bag, the hidden room where you
The
swam on
ruby
the water.
pendant?
Well, there's the pendant, but there was also a ring in there.
Yeah, the silver and gold twist. I was wearing it.
Okay. Are you going to ask about it?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Good
Where'd that come from?
It was just, I found it in a room.
You found it with that corpse, didn't you?
Yes, I did. It came with this jewelry too, this necklace.
Christ.
Has the concept
I figured it was a part of a set.
What do you, based on your study of that book, what do you believe the ring and the pendant do?
That's a good question. I don't remember all the details about the book.
Essentially, the piece in that book, as you kind of thumb back through, you're like, oh yeah, the ring was a symbol of safety.
I could use some safety.
Hey,
You are the danger.
You are the one who knocks.
when you do the identify on it, there's something very off about it.
like cursed off, or
No, more like the more she seems convinced that it will protect her, the more that's what it looks like as far as a magical aura goes.
So I just have to believe it? I believe a lot of things.
Oh no. Oh no.
I can
No.
do this. I can believe it.
No.
I'm not sure what that ring does. I'd be very careful, Thea.
I would not give it to Thea.
I don't think. Doesn't have a specific effect as far as I can tell, but it seems to do something.
I'm sure she'll figure it out with time.
True.
I'll let you know when I find out.
Oh no.
Promise?
I'm sure we'll find out right along with you.
It'll be a great time.
No.
Alright, I guess you can have it back.
I don't want to make the DM that happy. Jesus, did you see him?
I'm gonna sort of lean over to Belgar and say, I think whatever she's believing it does is doing something.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
A ring of belief.
it's
I
the
don't know, like, the more convinced she is it's doing something, the more it's doing something.
You gave her the ring of placebo? What the fuck?
But I'm worried it's gonna spin back or turn something on. I don't know. I don't know what it does, but if I don't give it back to her, she's going to get mad.
Yes, give it back to her by all
No.
means. This
Well, I
way
already
we,
gave it back to her.
this way we can observe under controlled environments the ultimate outcome of the ring itself.
However, since you let me borrow that dream blindfold here, Dave, or not Dave,
Belgar.
Eric,
Belgar.
thank you, Belgar. You
Eric.
can have the reading any glasses.
Oh, well, thank you. It's very kind of you.
We're
I'll
true.
return it when you give back the blindfold of dreaming.
Cool.
Go ahead.
Oh.
So, since we're sharing, I mean,
Oh no.
I might have
Oh wait.
into an agreement.
Let her
with
talk.
somebody that you may not be happy with. That we may have to figure out how to get around it in the
Wait.
future.
You what?
So you remember when I went for that little dream trip?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, and then we thought nothing happened, but then that guy that when we were fighting the rats, how that guy just burst into flames.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That was me. I can do that now.
You can make people burst into flames.
Apparently, yeah.
I cast Identify on Thea. Because I can note active effects on her doing that.
I don't think it would be an active effect.
Yeah, if she doesn't have active like spell effect on her, then I'm probably not picking up anything unless you want to have fun with it.
No. There's no.
Uh,
She can apparently use magic.
Oh, and I can do this, and I'm gonna do Mage Hand, and I'm gonna pick up something that's in the boat and just have it picking it up. I can do this. Uh-huh.
Is she
Is it
different
cool?
under the sight?
That's if you look at her using the sight,
Yeah.
that's a straight up spell.
But she's not any different under the sight than she normally was.
A little bit.
Right.
So let me get this straight. Our cleric has spent his life devoted to his god to gain the powers that he has. I've spent an entire life studying the way the world works to gain my powers. Our newest compatriot, Elspeth, has spent her entire life studying the principles of the arcane to be able to cast them in a reasonable way. And you go to sleep and get magic powers.
Yes.
This is bullshit.
But you may not like who I had to talk to and who I said yes to.
There's
All
only
right. Wait. Good. Yep.
I was asked to not do something. So I don't know what it is yet, but I was asked to not do something.
Thea, take us back to the beginning of the dream. Walk us through what happened that brought about your sudden gifts.
Well, there's this guy.
This guy, yes, let's be more specific. That's a bit vague. Can we narrow that down at all?
Yeah, he had a staff with the crescent on the top.
What color was the crescent?
A pretty red.
Crimson, even.
Yeah, you could say.
So there was a guy with the staff of the Crimson Crescent. Okay, please carry on. Any other qualities or distinctive elements about this particular individual?
No, I was not pissing him off.
okay.
So what happened?
So he asked me in the future to not do something, but did not tell me what I was not doing. And then he said that I would get power, so I get riches. And then I told him I don't want riches because that's not really valuable in the long sense. And then we kind of like, talked a little bit. Here
About
and there,
what? About what exactly?
and values and what.
Ethics, morals,
Yeah.
what's good, what's bad. Okay.
Yeah, and he just said in the future I shouldn't do something that would make him happy. And then
So
I got power.
Can I insight check her to see if she's bullshitting us?
no, I wouldn't even worry about it. We know this is completely ridiculous and entirely up her alley. I have spent one-on-one time of less than 24 hours with Thea, and that is entirely believable.
But I haven't.
And please make no mistake, my outward appearance completely belies the fact I am incandescent with rage. Not just on the bullshit acquisition of powers, but the one deity who we are actively, and I say we as in the rest of us, are actively working against, who are trying to destroy not just the world.
Reality?
Yeah, all of reality, even the things outside of the world. And you made a deal with it in your sleep.
Well, I didn't honestly recognize who he was until after the deal went, and then I started thinking about, like his staff and the crimson and the crescent, and then it kind of clicked.
So
It didn't click at first, to be honst.
you know what? Immense powers
can't
of
read
deities
shit out of
aside, just for the soundness for the rest of us, between when you made that deal and this very second, has there been any regret, concern for what that might be, or general desire to not do and follow through with that, whatever deal you made?
I mean, no, I can put people on fire if they attack me. I mean, that's pretty awesome, isn't it? I like it. It worked well for us.
Okay, so that's a no.
I mean, what regret did I have? I don't even really know what I'm not being asked to do. He could be asking me not to go grocery shopping.
Or he might ask you to not save one of our lives.
Or not break one of, or not kill someone important.
Well, let's just be honest. I'm not very good at saving your life. I mean, I might be a good shield in offense of putting me in front of it, but other than that, I'm probably not going to save your life.
I have so many concerns.
There are 100 scenarios, Thea, where your action or inaction could have a dramatic effect on all of our lives.
Well, we just gotta get crafty then.
Eric,
hey, we do have a little loophole.
Are there?
We have a little loophole because I
gods?
asked for things of value, and I told him specifically riches was not value. So he has to offer something of value in place. So if it's not valuable, I don't have to do it.
Okay, let's put a pin in that. Eric?
Yeah.
Does the Crimson Circle worship a god?
The Crimson Crescent, as far as you know, absolutely, they wish to free the chained god.
Yep, and that's what they're going through to try and free.
So
maybe we're not trying to. Maybe he wants me to not free him.
Sheldon.
Yeah.
What you?
Oh, you got a response out of Faliki. Oh dear.
What you seem to see here is someone cut a deal in order to gain significant magic power.
Yep.
And that deal, they didn't look over the fine print very carefully.
At all.
That much is clear.
It's like last campaign.
But I saw him in the Dream God's alley, and then I have this other token that I'm supposed to return, and then talk about the Dream God a little bit more, which is why I wanted your blindfold. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Okay,
Wow, you went through that fast.
let's unpack that last sentence vigorously. What did you just say?
We have hit every stage of grief in this conversation. This is...
You have a thing that you have to give back to somebody and talk about the dream? What?
Oh yeah, I had this before we even went to this place.
Yeah, okay, please elaborate.
There was that guy and he kept flirting, and then that was kind of annoying. But then he gave me this little thing and said I had to bring this token back. And then
Bring which token? The thing that you have in your hands? That token?
Oh no, it's in my bag still. I haven't taken that token out. It's this token, and I'm gonna dig in my bag and get it.
Wait, is this the guy you went on a date with back in... Oh...
Yeah, apparently he's some follower of the Dream God, and they wanted me to do something and speak
magical?
to them.
Do what?
They gave me this token. I don't know. I haven't brought it back. To be determined.
So he gave you this token, said go out and then bring it back?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
I mean, I thought it was kind of weird, but whatever.
Can we see the token, please?
Sure, there you go.
That was
Magic. I just checked it. It's not magic.
It's not magic.
Not at all.
What does it look like?
I don't know. What
No,
does it look like,
I'm
Eric?
not asking you. I'm asking Eric.
Oh.
Jesus.
At least Oldwell Dave has conniption over here.
See, again...
You can see the vein right here.
He's about to have an aneurysm. It's like that anime vein.
One big eye, one little eye.
There shall be memes.
What does the talisman look like, Eric?
If you were giving it a loose interpretation, you would call it sort of a club pin It looks like it's vaguely like 3 generations removed from an actual holy symbol, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. And
They
your
said they were followers of the dream god.
they were fathers of the dream god? What?
Followers.
Of the dream god. And so you went on a date with this chap. He tells you he's a follower of the dream god.
First off, I did not go on a date with him. I had to because it was part of an agreement.
You went on a date with
You went on a date with him. Why you did it is not in question. The fact that you went out with this chap. He told you he's a follower of the dream god.
Yeah.
Gave you this.
Yeah.
And said, go out and then come back and give it
I
back
told him
to
I was
me.
about to go on an adventure. And then he said, when you come back, bring this token back.
It does. As soon as you put that together with when she says that he claimed to be a follower, you're like, I could totally see that. That's where you make that connection. You're like, this is like the low rent version of a holy symbol.
You know what this is?
What?
This is an item of great importance to the individual who gave it to you. By you carrying it with you all of this time, all of the events that unfolded, all of the discoveries, all the combat, all the treasure, all the things that we've done have been imbued on this thing, as all things are in the chronology of time. When you return this to him, the dreaming god will be able to use this as a touchstone and recount everything that you've done from the moment you took hold of this thing until the time you give it back.
Ooh.
Really?
So we're not giving him back the token.
Okay.
We already have one deity we want nothing to do with who has a tap into our situation. Let's just add another.
All right. Now, was there anything else about this chap and the dreaming god and all of this stuff that we should know about, do you think?
No, but I do have an appointment with the Crimson Crescent dude when we get back that I have to go see.
Which Crimson Crescent dude is this?
The one that gave me the powers.
The one
Oh,
that dream.
the god.
Yeah. I have
The
to go figure out.
Crimson Crescent god. Yes.
I don't think
okay.
he's technically a god.
He's a god.
I don't think
Doesn't have to be.
technically.
He's, as far as I'm concerned, he's a god, and they are as good or as bad as they can get.
Well, I mean, I should figure out what I got into at this point, right? So what I should not do.
Anything. Just.
I don't
Well,
think it's
there
an
is another
appointment.
option.
Yes,
There is
Felipe?
another option. You can cease to be. That would be fine. Then you don't have to worry about any of it until you sort it out on the other side of life.
Okay.
On your own. Without any of us.
But we're fun. That's no fun.
I
thought we
like
were
a
a
hell of a lot of fun to
family.
me. I think it sounds divine.
Leaky with
Literally.
this direct approach of, well, you could just die, which.
I think we'll save that as a last resort, Filiki.
Are you sure? Because really, I think that we've come about full circle on it. He
Yes.
can roll up another character.
What are you referring
Are you
to?
sure that you're just banking on that the next character is even like better?
I was
than
going to
this one?
say, exactly. I mean, there's going to be resentment in that next character and vengeance.
No, ask Eric what happens when there are multiple in a row characters that are inappropriate. And no.
It was not inappropriate.
Honey, you are inappropriate.
I will tell you that. I will tell you outside of the game, I've had an entire series of characters eliminated, and that's okay.
Also, I think the problem isn't with Thea; it's with Shelby. In that sense, Shelby
Whoa!
makes me a character.
But I will tell you, no matter what happens, this was totally worth all of that. This has been
Shelby,
amazing.
if it makes you feel any better, I have made the same threats to Shannon. It's okay.
Oh,
Yes.
I love you, but I will fucking kill you.
I will fucking kill you. I will end you.
I may not have brought you into this world, but I'll be happy to take you out.
Okay, so before we digress too much further,
Yeah.
I do also want to let on. There are a couple of things that, as you've gone through all of the items, you've sorted through all the stacks of things, but in amongst all of those things, Elsbeth has this basically this sheaf of papers.
yes, I need to go through those.
And that pin. And I presume, Elsbeth, that you know what that pin is. Have you shown it to others?
It was handled
No.
by a few of us, but it ultimately found
I
its way
think it
to
was seen when it
Elspeth
was
very
first
quickly.
acquired, but I haven't
Right.
I haven't shown it off. No.
If you don't want to, that's fine. You have it. You are aware of it. You know what it is.
Yes.
Okay. The pages, after you've gone through all the items, you've sifted and sorted and had a discussion about
All of Thea's life choices.
the deeply distressing deals that have been struck.
First
Bargain.
off, that's not life choices. That was only like the last 2 weeks.
I stand by my statement.
If you live this long, I mean, come on.
Yep.
All right, sure.
There are two distinct parts to the sheaf of papers. At the front, all of these pages are just filled with magic research notes. It is a whole series of things that you're like, oh, completely delightful research. And in amongst that research, as you're sort of scanning through it, some of what that research talks about are descriptions of magical spells going horribly awry and doing very odd things with unexpected results.
Like what happened to us when we were near that broken chain.
Exactly that. And there are some vague descriptions of trying to travel, trying to leave this particular plane of existence, and an inability to effect that. Now, once you get past the research portion of it, there are actually a whole series of notes, including how to go about casting some particular spells.
What do those spells do?
Hypnotic pattern,
Ooh.
remove curse, confusion, dimension door.
And hypnotic pattern.
Sorry, I'll go over them again. Hypnotic
Yeah.
pattern.
Yep.
Which I believe is a 3rd level spell. Remove curse, which I believe is also a 3rd level spell.
That is third. I know that one.
Confusion, which I believe is a 4th level spell.
I believe so.
Dimension door, also a 4th level spell. And then at the very back end, there is a different sort of writing. The notes change completely, and there's something down the one edge of the pages that it's literally a different ink. There is a lengthy description on how to cast something called Fire Stride. As transcribed from Morgan Flamedrake, with a small tower behind the end of his name.
And to be clear, this is all just right now Elspeth's information. None of us know any of this.
Yes.
Okay.
But essentially, it's magical research notes and those spells that you can add to your spell book. Or keep the sheaf of papers and call that another spell book.
Oh, I'll be adding these to my spell book.
Right.
When in doubt, multiple spell books.
But that being your summary of the things that were in that sheaf of papers that you've been clutching for good reason. There's a lot of value here.
Yeah, anyone looking at Elspeth looks like, for lack of a better description, a kid on Christmas morning.
Okay.
She's delighted by whatever she's looking at.
Belgar is very familiar with this look. He knows lots of people that are really into knowledge like that. A blessed moment.
Indeed.
So that should catch us up with all of the things and all of the notes, and we can get in between times we can get messages back and forth for individual descriptions on things and sort of keep that going. We are at 9:45, so if we want to stop our broadcast.
Recording stopped.
And